Anyone? I was told about this event last night, so I was kind of dared to come up here, so I'm just going to wing it. My name is Pete Yarnall, 27 years old, going on 28. And there was a time in my life when that might not have happened. A couple of years ago now, around this time, was when I was diagnosed with cancer. I'd be going through surgeries at this time and then trying to figure out, okay, are my blood levels right? What's going on? And coming up on New Year's Eve would be an anniversary where I would be receiving my first dose of chemotherapy. So I get New Year's Eve. New Year's Day I get off, which is a good break. And then I go right back to it. And over the course of that winter and into the spring, I would end up meeting someone. To now, I don't remember his name, but we're going to refer to him as Lieutenant Dan, because he was a Vietnam War vet, and it was his third time getting chemotherapy. He had started getting cancer after the Vietnam War with some of the chemical weapons that they had used. And he was a very nice man, and every time I would come into the cancer ward, he would give me goldfish. That was the snack of the day every morning. That would start my 7.5 hours of chemo Monday through Friday. And I'd have that with a cup of coffee, and he'd sit and talk to me for 5 minutes while they were setting him up, while I was getting plugged in. Now, I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with Breaking Bad. That's a pretty good image of what this cancer ward looked like. And I'm sitting in a lazy boy chair. It reclines. I have a TV that's on a mechanical arm that's always set to the hell that is daytime television. And oh, good, Kelly again. That's great. Oh, The View. Oh, Price is Right. True Care. And just sitting there and trying to forget that I'm getting all of these chemicals pumped into my body. And being a cancer survivor, you kind of get this language that you get with other survivors. You know, oh, did you get a bleo push? Oh, what type of medicine? What was your flow rate? How much of this IV? Keeps going. And they always set it up on this mechanical arm that I would be able to wheel around. And I was certainly the youngest person in that cancer ward at Paoli Hospital. And he was certainly of average of age to be there. And it was very odd for a lot of the other patients to be seeing me, but he seemed to take it in stride. And sometimes we would talk about what happened during the war, or what I was looking forward to. Maybe I'd be going back to school. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. When you have cancer on you, it kind of takes away everything. You know, it took away my school, it took away my job. It felt like it took away my dreams. You start to get something called chemo brain, where the chemicals are going into your body, and mine were derived from heavy metals, most of which was platinum. So I was full of bling most of the time. And they had these bags. They were talking, oh, it was probably about $10,000 a bag. It's crazy. And I have all these heavy metals going through me, and I start to deteriorate with my mind. I start having these lapses in short-term memory that still kind of haunt me to this day. It's still pretty hard for my short-term memory. And the only thing I could ever really remember was stuff that I would write down. And I would start writing about Lieutenant Dan. But sooner or later, it just turned into, well, what's the dosage I'm supposed to get this morning of various types of drugs, whether they were generic drugs I had for nausea or something for anxiety because I was going through a lot, or what type of thing was going through with the dosage in case there was a new nurse. I'm able to actually beat cancer, spoiler alert, and I'm able to move on from that. Now I've been 2 years clean, and I've been able to regain a lot of my memory, a lot of my writing ability. I've been able to go back to school. But one of the things that I'm not able to have is goldfish. But there was one occasion, it was actually a couple of weeks ago, where that was the only thing in the house, and it was the same flavors, stupid cheddar goldfish. And I thought of him, and I wondered about him, because he always gave me goldfish to settle my stomach. Thanks for letting me share.
Peter, everybody.